Evening all.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to the April 23rd, 2019 open session meeting of the Ayer Planning Board. 6:15, we'll call it to order. First on our agenda is general business, but I'm going to take a minute because I'm the chair, or the acting chair at this point. I'm going to congratulate and say thank you to Jonathan Kranz for running for planning board. We now have a 3-year victim. You can outlast most of us at this point, Jonathan. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Be careful what you wish for.
Thank you.
With that said, can I have a motion, please, to approve the agenda?
I make a motion to approve the agenda for April 23rd, 2019.
Great. Do we have a second?
Seconded.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Next on our order of business is the approval minutes of the April 9th planning board. The minutes are not available yet, so we're going to move right past that. Okay. The next is we're going to review the A&R off Shaker Road. Struggle with the name again. Daniel Aho.
Oh, that's right. I'm John Boardman though, so you can get that.
I was going to say, John, enter and sign in, please.
Okay. Just real quick, this is the land that we've been talking about now for some time in terms of open space development. Right now, Mr. Aho owns the entirety of the pink shown here.
Yep.
And this blue area is what is the Crossman lot, which is the house that's out there existing. He purchased that also. So what he's looking to do is take the land in Ayer off the Crossman lot and add the land in Harvard to the Crossman lot. So that at the end of the day, it basically looks like this. We have one piece of land in Ayer, we can move forward with the development, and the Crossman lot conforms and can be sold again back off as a single family home. So no new lots, no additional lots, we're just changing internal lines. Okay. The exciting and or confusing part is it is 2 towns, so the A&R was signed by Harvard last night. It's also 2 registries, so there are 2 copies of the Mylars, so I'm going to ask you to sign 2 of those if that's acceptable.
Markers. Oh, thank you.
I'm not a rookie.
That's one thing I always forget. Impressive.
Thank you very much.
I do have thoughts on these.
Do we have any discussion?
Mr. Chair, I just wanted to mention the 2-part procedure for A&Rs. The first is to accept the plan for consideration. The plan is complete in terms of our checklist. And then after discussion, then I believe it's ready for endorsement. So just to note that.
Okay. May I please have a motion to accept the plan for the A&R? Would you like to make it, Ken? So moved. Thank you.
I second it.
Thank you. So moved and second to accept the plan. Any discussion?
John, the frontage, that's now part of the Ayer A&R. That number of feet, what's it, 150, 200 feet?
I think it was about 160. It should be listed on here. Frontage, Ayer requires 100, and we've got from here to here is 111, and then you've got another 30 or 40 feet before you hit the water, and then in theory access wouldn't meet.
But what about, does the Littleton Road side, does that get frontage over there too?
There is frontage along Littleton Road, although there is no access to the back portion through there because of the lake.
Right, okay.
So in theory, it wouldn't count as legal frontage.
So, just one real quick question.
Yeah.
So is the intent then that this property here, and video I'm trying to indicate the Ayer portion,
Yep.
would that be, do you intend that to be a separate A&R lot as part of the development that we discussed earlier in the preliminary?
There'll be a Lot A in Ayer, which is that 19.7 acres right there, which basically encompasses everything in Ayer with the exception of a very small portion that's associated with the house lot. So that is all one piece.
So it'll all be one, part of that? Okay, great.
Yeah, and that's what we've been showing on the open space plans that we've been talking about. This is sort of just actually following through with the legal changes so that we can move forward.
And in simple English, you're just going to follow the border between Ayer and Harvard. pretty much.
With the exception of one little jog because I need to meet the zoning offset in Harvard. Yeah, my engineering mind wanted it to be straight down that line. I just couldn't do it.
15 by 100 feet.
Yeah.
And about
Sometimes it just
in
doesn't
about
work.
200 years, someone's going to ask why.
Why?
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion on the plan? Would you like to add something, Mark?
No, I believe the plan is ready to be endorsed, which is the proper term for A&Rs.
You have to accept it first.
You just did. You did, I believe.
Do we vote on it?
Actually, I do have another question.
Oh,
We moved and seconded, we did not
I'm sorry.
I
vote.
don't know.
We're still in
Did you?
discussion.
Oh, we're still in discussion.
We're still in discussion. Actually, can I ask a question about that discussion? Does that discussion pertain to accepting the A&R, or are we discussing endorsing the A&R?
You're accepting the plan.
Accepting it just means it meets the criteria to, for review. The
Right.
checklist is complete.
So the discussion should have followed the endorsing motion, right?
Correct.
Just for learning,
Yes.
just not...
Generally, yes.
Or you discuss prior
More
to voting.
substantive things, right,
Okay.
follow after the acceptance.
I have learned with Mr. Diskin at the table to always ask for discussion.
Yes. No, it's good. I just make sure. I'm
So,
following.
okay, so it's been moved and seconded, discussed to accept, sorry.
I get one.
Oh, thank you.
On
So,
accepting or endorsing?
On accepting the plan.
Oh,
Okay.
so, because I want John to go over this again, sorry.
Sure.
The
I
jog,
did color ups.
the jog out that moves from the town of Harvard to the town of Ayer.
This is what it is today.
Right.
And this is what it'll be at the end of the day.
This is what I'm looking at, the jog.
Yeah.
So you're showing 47 feet
Yeah.
offset from a lot line that's in another town.
Yeah.
So that's an acceptable offset
Yeah.
for the lot, since this lot goes from one town to another.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any difference. Okay. You understand with that?
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, what's the reason for the bump out again?
Because Harvard has a certain, it must be, what's the minimum amount?
40-foot offset in Harvard.
That is-
I've given it some play there and for
It's just to
whatever
meet
reason.
their required offset for the
All right, and yours is 15, I
It's
think,
part
so.
of, it's part of the, one of the.
Theirs is
Yeah,
the one
rear is
that
So
covers.
small.
the corner of the building
Yeah,
needs to be
yeah.
The ironic part is that you'd think that Harvard would have made them to be at least 40 feet away from the town line when they put the house in.
The town line's
It must be right
irrelevant
there.
to zoning offsets in general, so it's, I mean, while it's irrelevant to the discussion in terms of an offset, it doesn't matter. Yeah, in my world, I would like to just draw the straight line and run with it, but that's a variance and that's not something that is reasonable to ask.
Any further discussion on accepting the plan? No. All in favor? Aye. Fantastic. We now have, I would entertain a motion, please, for endorsing the plan.
So moved.
Thank you. A second?
Seconded.
Any discussion? Hearing none? All in favor of endorsing the A&R? As presented?
Aye.
Aye, thank you.
I just played the 2 miles out here. People want to do musical chairs?
This side your A&R.
Okay.
And then if you guys could to before we to sign
We all signed it?
copies from my
Except for
file.
me.
Right.
Right.
You can just sign the two for me so I can keep it in the file.
First line on the paper, and then the same thing over here.
I have markers upstairs. Pen and
To, print
Give
as
it an
well.
A&R.
No, it can be completely illegible, just look at what Harvard did for us.
Yeah. So it has to be your signature.
This is your signature.
They're doctors too.
Do I put the date in
Middlesex
or no?
County requires to send
Somebody used
a
to.
signature for each board member of items that are recorded. This one should work.
You can just leave those right there, and then you're gonna do the same thing on here.
It's probably just allergies.
It's a long story, but
Mine too. My uncle had a fever of 100 on one last week. He shared it. Yeah.
And
Now reformer.
To feel
Now reformer.
still cold at the
So
same
it's
time.
referencing the owner, but the owner couldn't change today. So it's just a legal way of saying, when we looked at it, that's who the owner was.
I wonder if it's the same Anderson as the funeral home.
Oh, I don't know that.
So that the host Gotta go to those acronyms and short versions stuff.
Where's the baby was? Almost better?
I have no idea what it is. I can put that on.
Good to see you.
Oh, really? What are you gonna do? Over here also. This one's filmed, so you're just a little slower.
Great conversation with Joanne.
Oh, I
It's changing lot lines in 2 towns, so both towns have to sign.
The subject was
Both towns.
that email copy you want about
Yeah.
Say this in 2 places.
Conservation Commission.
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you, I appreciate your help.
Thank
I'm sure
you.
we'll see you again sometime soon.
Yeah, working on a couple of details, and we'll be back to discuss the next step on this.
Fantastic, thank you. Moving along on our agenda, we have a public hearing for a special permit for 25 Brook Street, Ayer Department of Public Works, new garage. Lacking the clerk, I'm going to read the announcement. Planning Board special permit, 25 Brook Street. The Town of Ayer Planning Board will hold a public hearing at 6:15 PM on Tuesday, April 23rd, 2019, in the first floor meeting room of Town Hall, 1 Main Street, Ayer, Mass. 01432, regarding the application from the Town of Ayer, Department of Public Works, for the property located at 25 Brook Street. The applicant is seeking a special permit from the Ayer zoning bylaw section 5.2, table of use regulations, line 2.3, to construct a new garage approximately 83 by 50 feet, paren, 4,108 square feet, closed paren, on site at the existing Department of Public Works property. A concurrent site plan review of the property will take place at this meeting as well. Application and plans can be viewed at the planning board and town clerk's offices during their business hours. Any person interested or wishing to be heard on the proposed plan should appear at the time and place designated or provide written comment by April 17th, 2019 to the Ayer Planning Office, signed Ayer Planning Board. With that said, do I need a motion to open the hearing?
No, reading the notice open
Reading the
hearing.
notice opens the hearing. Great.
Mr. Chair, before Dan starts, I just want to mention there are 2 waivers being requested. First is for section 3.H of the site plan regulations, which has to do with interdepartmental review. This has been circulating as a concept for quite a while, and so we felt that was a reasonable request. And the second is a waiver from section 3.E requiring a butter notification via certified mail. They did notify abutters via standard US mail, just not certified, so.
Thank you. Okay, Dan?
All right. How's everyone doing?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. So this is the new highway garage at the DPW property. Everyone's been to the DPW, correct? I'm assuming.
Actually, Dan, we could use this as, you could use a pointer on this.
Pointer? Okay,
Yes.
yeah, I'll sit here then.
That would be really easy for
You're
you.
touching this, you do.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can get in trouble.
yes.
As Alan knows, right?
Don't touch the touch screen.
All right.
So the DPW, the or the lot we're on is 50 acres. And you can see this is where my mouse is at the existing highway garage here. The new admin building right here. And over here is our fuel station. And then the main pumping station, that's our wastewater pumping station. All the wastewater in town goes there and pumps to the wastewater plant down here. So the new garage is proposed in this area here, right next to the fuel canopy, partially in the woods. And I have the plans to show in more detail where we're at. So why don't I get the plans?
Yes, I think what we have to do is just to the files and then, yep, and then we just open this one here.
Yep.
Yeah.
That should do it.
Oh, there you go, and then, I think,
There's a way to-
can you scroll down, or
Make it
actually,
one page width or whatever.
oh, I see. Yeah, you might have to just,
Okay, that's where the comments are boxed like that, but it's all right.
I want to go up to the top. Let me- That's not the first sheet, I take it? Unfortunately.
No,
All right.
so that's okay.
Well, actually, no, I can, oh, there we go. All right, so now if you hit the right button, or
Okay.
left button, you should be
So
able to
that's our
scroll
cover
down.
page here.
There it is.
So, yeah, this is the existing condition, so here's the existing maintenance and storage garage the highway department utilizes. In the front here is their office, our old office, DPW admin old office. Fuel station here. And then this area that's kind of shaded is a gravel parking area. It's pavement millings. And then we have a wooded area here. Towards wetlands, and then further south, eventually reach West Main Street. So how do I have it right? So that's erosion and sedimentation control, but now go to the next sheet, because it shows a little bit of both. So this bold line here is where we have proposed to remove trees. And, well, we actually already did, because we didn't realize we needed to do site plan approval, but that's the only thing that we've done so far. And here's the new proposed garage in this area, and it also has a fuel canopy to go over the fueling station. And this garage will be strictly used for storage of vehicles, and as you can kind of see on here, there's utility connections. We're going to have gas connected for heating. We'll have electric connected to our old main pumping station, and fire alarm will connect to the existing garage and run over, but there won't be any water and no sewer connection. There will be floor drains which go to a holding tank to the west, but that's pretty much, it's pretty much a shell building to store the vehicles. And then when we get into the grading and stormwater plan, so it's gonna be a pre-engineered metal building with a single slope roof which heads toward the back. So we've collected stormwater coming from that area into a small sediment forebay and a detention basin with an overflow.
Can you show us where the vehicles enter and leave on,
Yeah, so where they will enter?
yeah, in the new building?
Yeah, it'll be right along
Oh, those are
this
the
front
bays.
here. There'll be 5 bays in the
Got it,
front
so
here.
it's hard, it's the long way, the bays, okay.
Yeah, and I have some architectural drawings we can skip ahead to.
Oh, I see,
So
okay.
here's some architectural renderings. So here's the wooded area to the south, the fuel station, and yeah, you get your 5 bays. And then some more renderings, so you get the single slope roof to the back.
It's gonna be similar building to what the new admin building is?
No, it's a little different. You haven't been in the water department plant at Grove Pond, right? No. So it's a metal building. So it'll kind of look a little similar because the outside of the new admin building is metal, but it won't be modular at least. It'll be metal structure.
Dana, is the hay bale silt fence line up yet?
Yes, that's in, and Joanne from Conservation checked that out and checked that out as okay. I forgot to mention that earlier. So we do have erosion and sedimentation control plan, and we are adhering to that. We have the silt fence, or not silt fence, the straw wattles in place and checked off by Conservation. So we permitted this with Conservation, was it a year ago or so? I have that in here. And there was a negative determination of applicability with conditions of the straw wattle in place.
Did you have to move some test pits also?
We did some test pitting out there and some borings
Yeah.
for the structure. So,
I just seem to recall something about that.
yeah,
But they're not there for, you were just testing the current soil conditions?
right. Yeah, it was just a test for the
They're not
load
monitoring-
bearing.
They're not monitoring pits for anything else?
No, so,
Okay.
yeah. So going back, we have the negative determination of applicability from conservation. We also, it's partially, I don't know how you go back here, do you know? It's partially within the natural heritage estimated area of priority habitat. So we did file with natural heritage, and they came back with a decision that it would not result in a prohibited take of the state listed rare species.
Let's show the wetland buffer.
Yeah.
For the previous.
Yeah, so you can see it on here. Actually, I can point it out, Mark. The natural heritage boundary is this kind of big faded dotted line that looks like they tried to make it around all our buildings here. Because then it extends west and fills, you know, the rest of our site up pretty much. What else we want to talk about here?
Are any of the utilities overhead or is everything underground?
It's all underground. Even the electric's gonna be done underground to the main pumping station. Yep. So no overhead.
No generator, nothing like that, just,
Actually, we'll tie it in to the main pumping station, and it'll put it on generator power by where we tie it. We tied in before the generator, so
okay.
it will get onto generator power.
But you're not asking for another secondary generator or fuel storage or anything like that?
No,
Is your generator gas out there now, or diesel?
that's diesel.
Okay.
Should we ask questions as we go along?
But please do. It's up to you and Dan.
Yeah, I think I've covered most of what I had on my list. If you want to just ask questions, that's fine.
You show this temporary dewatering structure. Do you think you're going to need that?
I don't think so. Water's about 15 feet deep, so we shouldn't, yeah, we won't, I don't expect to.
And these drawings were all done by you?
Yes, for the most part, the civil ones are, but then when we get into architectural and there's an electrical, those are done by some consultants we hired.
And Dan, a newbie question.
Yeah.
The disposition of the water that runs off the roof, so what's the story with that?
So it's gonna flow basically off of a drip edge and then flow over land by grading into the sediment forebay. I don't know if you can kind of see it there. There's a contour here. So there's two contours. So it'll drip off the back and then flow into this forebay in the front. And then when that'll remove some sediment.
And that'll remove some sediment and it just keeps going.
There's the detail of the next sheet, actually.
Yeah, and then it'll get into the detention basin.
And there's the detention basins right over there.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then
got it.
that overflows when you have a real heavy rainstorm, you can't hold it. So it's set up to hold the 2-year and 10-year storms. Jeff, actually, you did ask earlier about monitoring wells. Those ones, they were monitoring wells, but we've decommissioned them.
Yeah.
There was 3 of them. They were soil boring and monitoring, so I forgot that. But we did that because there used to be underground storage tanks in that area. So we did some testing to make sure it was still below acceptable levels. So sorry, I forgot that.
No, that's okay.
We had done that testing.
So all the drainage from the roof, there's no gutter system or any kind of downspouts, is that what you're saying? Basically, it falls off the roof, or does it pick up?
Actually, there probably will be some downspouts. There will be some downspouts, I should say, not probably.
Okay.
I originally planned for it to drip off the edge, but the contractor, we have a contractor on board now. As I said, we're kind of late in the game for site plan review. And he has submitted to have downspouts, 4 of them, located, 2 on the canopy and 2 in the back. So it'll split half of the roof to those downspouts and come out till concentrated, but it'll still flow ultimately to that forebay.
So it'll flow over ground off through some stone or something?
Yeah, we'll put down some stone. I didn't show any here,
You don't
but we'll
want
have to do that.
You know, drainage running off or...
We don't want to
Erosion
scour
or
right next to
anything like
the,
that.
so
Right.
yeah, we'll definitely, I didn't show that here, but we'll have to make sure that.
Does
that
this
is done.
forebay end up being one of those rain garden type things or anything like that?
No, I didn't show anything, any plantings in it, so
Okay.
it's just standard.
Because you have none of it
Depression.
down there, right? It's like on the site.
We do have a rain garden, it's not really, it's a little bit further east,
Yeah.
just off the page, and there's a rain garden in that area, because Most of the flow for our property does flow over land, and we'll go up here and show. I can use the mouse for you. Yeah, pretty much from this point over flows over land and then down into, it cuts over this area. The green garden, I think, is it somewhere here-ish or here-ish?
Okay.
It is on the page, but it's not shown here.
It's to the left of the entrance to the yard.
Right.
Yeah.
Right in
Yeah.
the new building.
It's
Right in the new building, if you're looking at the new building.
It's, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions?
The special permit hearing is well, both hearings are open hours. Is this a special permit hearing?
They're combined, so, yep, so any motion should reflect both site plan and special permit.
Well, sorry, just a point there. So when we did the notice, the public site plans are not public hearings, so just as to follow. So you kind of discuss both at the same time,
Right.
but when you do your motions, you are separating the two.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
Give us a minute. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one more question. So Dan, do you have to strip and remove any existing paving that's there to do with work, or is it working through gravel and stone or compacted materials?
It'll be-
Already impervious.
It'll be minimal that we have to strip. So you can kind of, this is a grading plan, but you can see the corner of the building here. This is the pavement line here, and then this is the gravel. So most of the building in the work area is outside of paved areas, but there's a bit in this corner here. And then also, we're gonna have to trench to the old garage for the fire alarm. And over to the main pumping station, there's a little bit of pavement right here. So there's not a lot of pavement removal. And,
But you're just gonna trench it for utilities?
yeah, just trenching it for utilities. And then the corner of the building here to put the building in that location. And over to the west here, we're gonna kind of recreate the employee parking. I didn't mention that.
Yeah.
That's why we kind of have this
It's
larger
shown on
area
one
to
of
the
the
west. Because the
Yeah.
employees, the highway guys park right here now, so
Oh, right.
they'll have spots here.
But it's gonna be the same type of gravel,
Yeah,
Parking.
over here will be, yeah.
pretty much impervious surface.
Yeah, so our guys will, they'll put that down.
Oh, so there's no new pavement, basically?
There will be, is it showing the, I think the previous one, Mark? Did you-
Parking.
Yeah, I think that's this one.
Previous.
This drawing here,
One more up.
like shows on the electrical plan. But I guess that's just compacted stone.
That shows on the site
I
plan.
don't recall seeing new asphalt when I went through the plans. You got the copy?
It is
I
on,
would have thought you had to put asphalt up to the base.
yeah, it is on here.
Into the front of the building and stuff.
It doesn't show up well on my drawing, and here, can you go up,
Yeah,
forward? Or here, I can
Go
go,
down.
yeah, I want to go down.
one more.
Should be on like
Keep going.
104.
Yeah, it's on 103 and 104. I'll have to go up here to kind of show you.
Is it on this one?
Next
one more.
103 and 4.
Oh,
Sorry, there
okay.
you
So
go.
there's so many lines, because for some reason these callouts of the boxes showed up around them. It's an AutoCAD PDF problem.
Oh,
But
yeah.
paving starts kind of right here. There's a line, and then goes up.
Got it.
So this whole, yeah, this whole area here that's gravel now will become paved.
Right.
And there's a saw cut.
It's like a triangle, you see this triangle
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. And you
So
got,
then
and
there's a-
and it's actually noted as a
It's
saw
clearer
cut
on the
line.
drawings we have.
Yeah, and then there is a
Yeah.
saw cut line.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So we'll kind of work with when we do the grading, but I indicated that in case the contractor needs some more room to grade.
So that new asphalt and whatnot will follow the grade that's there, and you don't have to work, you did some stormwater calculations I saw for conservation and to address whatever's going on with that, I guess.
Right.
Okay, okay. And it's okay with conservation, it should be okay with us. Are we still in the acceptance of the plan phase right now?
Yes. It's all one, right?
It's all, we're discussing.
It's a public hearing.
Okay, it's all together.
Well, you're accepting the plans for,
Right.
for special permit and site plan.
Right.
When you make the motion to approve each, you
Yeah, exactly.
do
But we
separately.
haven't made a motion yet because we're in the public hearing.
If you're doing both at the same time. Yes.
No?
It shows up
I got
as two
one more
separate, but
question
when you
on,
discuss it, you're discussing a site plan, special permit, then you vote separately.
So, Mark's recommendation included, I think it
Makes
said
sense?
2 waivers.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And don't we have a site plan requirement that requires a landscape drawing? Shouldn't we have a waiver for that?
Or that could be a not applicable. There's a fine line between when you think something isn't applicable and if it's something that is part of the package that would normally be part of the package that requires a waiver.
I think it was the lighting plan.
Usually a
lighting.
procedural thing, so.
Okay, so the waivers that
Yeah.
we're talking about here are strictly waivers in the language of...
Procedural waivers, yes.
Procedural, yeah. Okay.
Fantastic. Any other comments from the table? Do we have any comments from the public? Hearing none? Want to make a
Okay.
motion?
Were motions made to accept
No.
yet?
No.
So first to accept.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the drawing submitted for the town, by the town of Ayer for the Ayer Highway Garage dated March of 2019. Plus the special permit and site plan review as required and as shown in Mr. Ashley's staff report.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
No opposition? Thank you.
Great, thank you, guys.
That's just
Wait,
the
wait,
plan.
wait,
The waivers,
Just the waivers.
Yeah.
That's just the plans, you haven't
Accepted
even
the plan,
said.
but didn't the endorsement yet, yeah.
Trying to get you out of here.
We got a
So
little more.
excited. Yeah, what's going on?
All we did was
Yeah,
accept.
excited.
Yeah, all I did is accept the plan.
Okay.
Right. Now there should be a motion for the waivers, and then you can make a motion to approve
There we go.
separately the site plan and the special
And then
permit.
close the special permit.
Should we have separate motions,
Close
one
the
for each
hearing,
waiver, Heather?
No, you can do both
No,
at the
you
same
can do them
time.
together.
Really?
Unless you had an opposition to one of them and you wanted to vote no on one, then you would do two separate.
Right.
And the appropriate language for a motion would be to, do we say accept the waivers? or
Approve the waivers as
Approve the
requested.
waivers as requested?
Yes.
I make a motion that we approve the waivers as requested for the town department review and the abutter notification via certified mail.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded.
Lots of seconds.
I heard
Any
kids first.
discussion?
Good.
Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. So, the waivers are accepted. Now, a motion to approve
Special permit.
the special permit.
Thank you.
What's the appropriate language for that motion?
Move to approve. We have to say
Special permit as
permit.
requested.
Yeah, I make a motion, we accept, approve the special permit as requested.
Do I have a second?
Seconded.
Thank you. It's moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Dan.
Well,
No?
now it's
No.
up to you to decide if you want to close the public hearing before you do the site plan, or do the site plan, then close the public hearing.
Well, I think we should do the site plan and then close the public
Okay.
hearing.
Okay.
In the interest of the public that might want to know about it.
Okay. May I have I need a motion to accept the site?
Go for it, Julie.
No,
Come
no,
I'm
on.
sorry.
I just made a
I'm
big
sorry.
decision.
I move the motion to approve the
I
site.
make a motion to approve the site plan as submitted with drawings dated April 1st, 2019. No, yes.
No, yes.
April 1st, 2019.
I was commending you for forgetting the date.
Yes.
Yes.
We have a second,
Ken's
please.
teaching us.
Hold on,
Seconded.
please.
No,
Hold on a second.
no, we haven't, are we discussing?
Yeah, now you go to discussion.
Now we
Any
get
discussion on the
discussion.
plans?
So the drawings are not dated April 1st, the drawings are stamped April 1st.
Sorry.
They're dated March 2019, so what do we want to vote on now? I think the drawings,
Stamp received. April.
Yeah, I received it on
As
that.
received,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. I don't know. You just do as it's dated March 9th, 2019.
it's the drawings, the dated March of 2019.
Okay. So will you accept an amendment to your motion?
I do
Plans
accept that
dated
motion. Yes, I
March
do.
2019?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, if you look
Thank
at the
you.
revision dates, it's 3/29/2019.
That's as seen here.
Yeah, if you look at the dates, yeah, if you look at,
Yeah.
this, on the signature, it's 29. So if you look
Oh,
in
I'm
the,
sorry. Yes,
if you
you're
look in
right.
the,
You're
if you look
correct.
in the blocks here, it says 3/29. So they are dated, just not the title sheet.
So That stamp on the title sheet is the date that it was received by our office?
Yes.
The planning
Yeah,
office?
in the town clerk's office.
Okay.
So we'll have it as 3/29/19 dated.
So a motion or a second?
Seconded.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Do we need to list, you have to list each drawing separately by its, or just take the whole
No,
package?
it's plain
No, it's the
set.
package.
Plan separate.
Plan set, okay.
Sometimes I'll list how many pages they are. And if there's stormwater, that gets us in the site plan approval as well. And that, which is in here. If anyone wants to read
There's
it.
also a drawing index on the cover sheet
Right.
that describes the set
Okay.
with us on
Thank
this
you.
one. Yeah.
I think we should also have, as part of our approval, the fact that the town planner recommended no special conditions and we approved it without any conditions.
Yeah, there's the general conditions that will apply to all
Right, no special
applications, but there were no special ones that I thought needed to apply.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I think I could say thank you, Dan. I take a motion to
Dan.
close the special permit hearing, please.
So moved.
Seconded.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you
Dan.
guys.
Thank you, Dan.
Congrats, John.
Thanks, Jim.
And you're now ready to
Yeah, I can pull it.
pull that.
Moving along to the continuation of our public hearing for the proposed marijuana establishment zoning bylaw.
Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, but
I'll go on.
Heather might, oh, you have one? Okay.
Yeah, I have one too.
Yep. Okay, since the April 9th first public hearing on this zoning bylaw, I made 2 very minor changes. The first was there was a numbering problem on page 6 where you see at the top it says 2 and then 3.
Yes.
Originally it had 2 2s.
Yes, it did.
And I was stuck until Heather rescued me.
Good.
She was able to fix that.
Isn't that so maddening?
And then on the very
Retype all of them.
last page, page 9, the town council in her email to me intended to include what's called a severability clause, and she did not actually include that in the text, even though she said you should have one. So I went through the other bylaws and they're virtually all the same. Basically, what the severability clause does, whoops, it states that,
Sorry, Barry.
Well, that must have been loud, huh?
oh,
Very
you
stiff.
gotta watch out, there's a forest of cables thing there.
Yeah, you can.
So the severability,
Clause, and I
Thank
won't
you.
knock that over again, states that if the Attorney General finds that there's some section in here that, needs to be changed or doesn't pass their muster, it doesn't invalidate the entire bylaw. So it's an important thing to have. And so, I'll read it. Provisions of this bylaw are severable. The invalidity of any section, subsection, paragraph, sentence, clause, phrase, or word of this bylaw shall not be held to invalidate any other section, subsection, paragraph, sentence, clause, phrase, or word of this bylaw. So it's really just a guarantee that if there's something in here that the Attorney General takes issue with, that could be changed without throwing out the entire thing.
Nice. Good work.
So otherwise, that's how the bylaw stands, and it's, that was filed with the town clerk and with our office. So, certainly can entertain any questions as part of the public hearing now.
I'd like to look forward to anybody at the table might have questions for Mark about this.
Mark,
Bless you.
bless you. From our history of other zoning bylaw changes and the effective date of the bylaw changes, can you refresh our memory about how that, isn't there a section that says if this bylaw has gone to the hearing and been advertised and so forth, that in effect it's started.
Right, yes, so if somebody...
Clear that up for everybody.
Somebody could have, as of the date of the first posting, if somebody wanted to do a marijuana establishment, according to this bylaw, they would need to follow the provisions of the bylaw, even though it hasn't been passed by town meeting. Now, if the bylaw was turned down by town meeting, you know, the applicant is sort of taking a little bit of a risk by falling under the thing. But as I mentioned in the full presentation, without the bylaw, people can still do these sorts of establishments. It's just that we don't have as much control.
Right.
We don't have as much control over where they can occur and which particular business districts. Whereas with the bylaw, we have more control. So, but you're right. You know, as of the date of the posting, that's when it effectively goes into effect for anybody who wants to use it. You know, that's the reason that was put in by the state, or I'm not sure if it was done through a court case, but, you know, is to prevent a rush of applicants before a planning board when you hear that there's a discussion of a zoning change. And,
It's a pretty important provision.
yes, yes. Yep, so if the board is okay with the bylaw as described by me this evening and as it was, you know, sent out a few weeks ago and as I presented last time, you would accept the zoning bylaw as presented tonight for inclusion on the June 10th special town meeting warrant, and direct the bylaw to be placed on the warrant. So that would be the motion.
Thank you. Do we have anybody, if there's no other questions at the table, anybody in the public have any questions or points? Thank you, hearing none, thank you very much. Mark, thanks for all the work that you've done on this along the way.
Thank you, Mark.
I wanted to comment on that.
Appreciate, I'm gonna guess it's KP who did the legal work?
Yes,
Adding the severability clause?
Yes.
The things that should be that we often don't remember.
right.
That's fantastic also. Chuba?
I was going to say the same thing. I know Jonathan
Yeah.
helped work on this
Yeah.
bylaw and other people in town. And
Yes, I
Right.
did.
Yes,
there's a lot of work involved to bring it to this stage, so thank you all very much.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but looking, you know, I must say, looking at the other bylaws that we use as models, I think this is quite
Pretty
good.
solid.
Yeah.
It's not only solid, but it's fairly succinct compared to some, and without sacrificing details that we need. So I think this will be a good addition to the zoning bylaw and help protect the town when these businesses come in.
Yep, agreed.
With that being said, we'll need a motion. Mark, if you want to touch the high points again?
Yeah.
The motion should include.
The motion should include acceptance of the bylaw as received at the April 23rd Planning Board meeting, and that the Planning Board votes to issue a positive recommendation for inclusion on the June 10th special town meeting warrant.
Fantastic.
Okay, I make a motion that we accept the marijuana establishment zoning bylaw as received April 23rd, 2019, and that we make a positive recommendation for including it on the warrant for the June 10th, 2019 special town meeting.
Thank you.
If I may, the positive recommendation would also be for the vote. So the planning board issues a positive recommendation that it pass town meeting. So,
Oh, and then the planning board makes a recommendation that it pass town meeting,
Yeah,
a
June
positive
10th. A positive recommendation that it pass town meeting, June 10th, 2019.
which you'll have something at town meeting that will state that.
Yeah,
Right,
we asked.
yes.
Sure asked. Do I have a second, please? Do we have a
Seconded.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Would you please note in the minutes that it was unanimous?
All in favor?
Thank you.
Yeah, I typically just write that anyway.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Does it appear often?
And that brings us to the conclusion of our public hearing for the proposed marijuana establishment zoning bylaw. Take a motion to close the hearing, please.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Thank you. Sorry, that's fine. Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of closing the hearing? Aye. Thanks. Brings us to our second continued public hearing. The proposed form-based code to replace the downtown business zoning district. Do we have the proponent in the room by chance?
I'll do it.
Evening now.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
We didn't do a motion on the first one.
That's fine.
No, we're just continuing.
Right, it's a continuance, yeah.
Okay. How are you all this evening?
What's going on?
I like dramatic pauses. It's a powerful thing. Yeah. Okay, I'm just the current status of the form-based code. The form-based code, has also been submitted to legal counsel. They've had it for about 6 weeks or so, and as of this morning, it is still under review. And I want to be careful because I know we're under an open public hearing for my last presentations, and there may be some modifications as a result of the legal review. And again, this is all still in discussion as of this morning and still sorting it out. I don't know how far I should go into describing, or if that's not even necessary at this point, what some of those modifications may be and how it may require a new public hearing, closing the existing and opening a new. So this is why I am uncharacteristically awkward right now as I'm speaking.
Yeah, so this is.
So I was gonna ask
It
that
would be good
question.
to
Why
describe,
can't we
yes.
just
Yes?
continue it and then close it if we need to and open a new
Well,
one?
let's let him.
Well,
Yeah, why don't we let's get into this.
I don't know the details, and so does Mark, but it's Alan's public hearing, so
Go ahead, Alan.
that should require assistance.
Okay, so what is going right now? The code is submitted, and legal counsel is recommending that the form-based code proceed as an overlay. I'll say to you all, as one who has done form-based codes for many years, the original school, we really tend never to do form-based codes as overlay districts. That's the whole point of the form-based code. Is our original mantra, the form-based code is enough overlays. Never mind all these overlay design guidelines. We keep overlaying things to make it the form and development pattern right. This is why we say no. You start fresh and you do this code. So there's no. My sense is the corporate counsel is recommending this because, which I have already done, frankly, I've gone through the entire air zoning bylaw to remove the current downtown business zone and replace it, okay, with the form-based code. You have to go through, of course, the entire code because DB at downtown is woven into. Okay, now I have done this. I've gone through the entire document and I submitted this to legal counsel. Here's every place and here's how you need to change this. It's the timing now. As much as we think June 10th is still, oh no, this is,
No, it's close.
we know it isn't because of the requirements for advertising, posting, when the warrant needs to be posted, all this needs to be done. They're very tight. Corporate counsel, my sense and understanding is they feel that to go through the entire bylaw changing, every deed through, that it's going to be too overwhelming and too ponderous for town meeting. She said, you'll have to go through this entire code to do this. Frankly, I'm prepared to do that. I've done it a number of times, and this is what I was, prepared to do, but they're really advising and recommending probably the best approach to do is to do this as an overlay district.
What are the consequences of that, Alan?
Yeah, the consequence may be like, when you do, often overlay, think of your overlay districts you have now. Cell Tower Overlay District, Aquifer Overlay District, the Adult Entertainment Zone
Right.
Overlay District. Sorry. So, they tend to be use-based. All right, so you sort of have this underlying things, and then it's this use kind of thing that you got. In this case, the form-based code is getting deeply into the built form of things. And you've got to do this then if this is an overlay, you still have then this existing underlying DB district with all the physical built parameters. So these two things are not compatible. So what corporate counsel is trying to work out is they're going to go through and work it out so that if in fact there is a conflict, for instance, our current DB zoning around, say, the rail station, maximum building height now is 3 stories. We are proposing the form-based code to go to 4 stories there. So picture now we have,
Is the maximum building height now is in a footage dimension, I believe, not in a story dimension?
Correct, 35 feet. Or actually, I think it might be 3 stories old, but it is 35 feet. And you're right, Ken, now that you said that, if it's 3 stories, I think it might be in the code referencing 3 stories. Nonetheless, but I just use that as an example.
Okay.
But so what corporate counsel is doing, she's going through the code to say, so that they're going to put in this language saying, if in fact there is, that conflict between the two, that the form-based code, development standards rating, supersedes, takes precedent, okay? The concern about this is that they're working out is well, if a developer comes in, could they still just say, well, you know what, it's almost like these are parallel codes. Now, by the way, years ago, we would do, actually Stratham, New Hampshire, when I did some coding with them years ago, they did what's called a parallel code with the form-based code. They said, we're going to keep our existing, zoning for there, but we're going to do this parallel optional code, meaning a developer could come and say, wow, so I could choose which one of these, hoping that, to say, well, I'm going to go because this is, you don't know, you're throwing the dice.
No.
This is why we do form-based codes, for its predictability of outcome. But Attorney Kessel says, I'm working on that so that we'll have this language in so that it will. Okay, so this is, and the other thing to aid with this is an incentive. Give me an incentive then, if these are sort of parallel. Why should I, as a developer, do it's great, it's fun, it's all going to be good, but...
Hold on a second, I missed that.
Yes.
So you're saying that the town is asking us to provide an incentive to the developers, is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm sorry, let me qualify what I mean by incentive.
Yeah, who's doing the incentive is what I'm trying to...
Yeah, now what we often do with form-based codes, and I decided not to take this path with this one, when you do a form-based code, you try to expedite things. In other words, the incentive is, geez, it's prescriptively laid out, and since if you are come in and say, I'm going to conform with every single one of these prescriptive development standards, normally what we do with this, we did this in Auburn, Maine, and actually almost all places, you have then what's called either a expedited review team, it's internal administrative staff review, meaning, hey, you know what, if you conform to all these, you will not be required to go to planning board and the whole public hearing thing. This will be reviewed and you can be approved your site plan because the form-based code for all practical purposes is a prescriptive site plan. It's already laid out. You conform. This is subject only to internal administrative review. Thereby, there is your incentive to say, I want to conform with that form-based code and I can really just do a very expedited administrative review and not have to go through, This is how we tend to do form-based codes. As I was going forward with this, I thought maybe we won't push that, and I just had it. If you do a form-based code, you're just going to come before the planning board, like any site plan triggers, and you do this. Corporate counsel said, Alan, I think we should now, since we're doing this, maybe, work that incentive in. So, I have drafted this up completely. It's all done. I submitted it to legal counsel yesterday morning, and to Mark as well, with a construct, with an expedited review group internally. And a trigger I used is, because you folks, anything that is of significant development, it has to go before even if it's a form-based code. Mm-hmm. So what we often do is we do a threshold. So what I have proposed is, if you're coming in and you're doing new construction in the downtown form-based code district, if you're going to construct a building of 9,000 square feet, including the basement and all floors, 9,000 square feet or less, you can go before the expedited review group. If you're proposing, though, a building, a development, 9,001 square feet plus, or 9,000 plus, you are subject to planning board review, just like any site plan.
Even if it were to conform to the
Yes.
form-based code
Yes,
track?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's just the thing, when they start doing, and where they come up with 9,000 square feet, most of our buildings are good traditional form. If you do a 3-story building, most of, the scale of our buildings here are about 3,000 square feet on a floor plate, not much larger than that, maybe a little bit, some not much. So a really conventional building here, 9,000, 3-story building, 3,000 square, nothing huge. And by the way, the reason I kind of like that is you're putting out, and what it's incentivizing is say, don't come in that, which I can tell from the people, don't come in and sort of post doing a mega of these buildings. We'd actually like to see many wonderful human scale buildings like this. So by saying this, hey, if you do 9,000 square foot building, something about, you can come in and really do expedited, you're done and approved. There's your incentive. But if you're going to do something of a larger scale, because it does have so many more, you're going to go before the planning board. But I'll say, Mr. Diskett, because the form-based code is so prescriptive and all, even when it comes before you all, the whole thing should be, quite accelerated. Yeah.
You got a question, Joe?
So there's
No, I didn't.
where we're at.
Oh, okay.
Now,
I think we moved past my question because we're
Sorry.
clearly continuing the hearing.
I'm sort of
You wanna go first?
disappointed.
Do you want to go first? Go ahead, you go ahead, Ken.
I'm really disappointed in this, this throwback from the council to Alan
me
and then
too.
to us. And I'll tell you, a simple reason why is that it is obvious to me that the council should have been asked at the beginning, or there should have been some report by council at the beginning that we were looking at an overlay district from day one before you went through this whole process, or is it just one of those things that comes up? Seems like they should have helped you a little bit, earlier in the process, because you put so much work into this that, I don't want to shortchange it. I want to make it happen by June 10th is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I just want to, I'm thinking out loud. And one of the virtues of the form-based code is that it reduces the number of ambiguities.
thank you.
That's one of the points. And now we've reintroduced at least one other layer of ambiguity that makes me very uncomfortable. And I'm especially concerned is I don't want to even create a wedge or a crack for someone to game the system. And they say, well, maybe we can game this to go back to the old. That alarms me, because doesn't that open us up to a quagmire of legal complication potentially? That's what I'm worried about.
It could. I have faith in speaking with Attorney Questle that she can do language that really, really powerfully through every section says, when there is that conflict between these two, the form-based code shall supersede. You are subject to the form-based code. Guys, it's a timing thing now. It's so close, and I know that firm. They're engaged with many town meetings. It's just the season. It's the timing. So I think they're saying, if you want this to happen for June the 10th, because this is complex. All the complexity is up front so that it's simple at the end.
I got it.
That's
Right.
the magic
Right.
of this.
That's the whole point.
So she's, myself, I feel quite confident, that I could get up on the floor and go through the whole thing. But I absolutely, I respect obviously, they're our legal counsel. And so I guess what I'd say is, this is going to work, I know, into the week now, because again, I haven't gotten back yet what she's working on. And I feel confident we can make it work. And I'll say this, too, down the road. We want to get our form-based code, we want it for June the 10th. So if it goes this time and it's done as an overlay, and it goes to fine, it just means down the road, we could revisit a time you say, we'd like to take, now that everyone's comfortable with the form-based code, we understand it, we can go forward maybe a year or two, say, let's go fully and let's do a full replacement now of the district.
So that remains open.
I believe it could. There's no reason why the town could not do that if we chose to do it. I believe, down the road. And I think it's now just an issue of timing. And
Is there anything currently going on in the Commonwealth anywhere else that's causing Cutler and Page to be concerned about this?
No.
Or is it just
It's timing. It's just,
the
they feel
timing.
that this will be too overwhelming for people and to go through this whole code, and it's just not to get it
Put that
out.
out, that piece of paper, you gave it to us.
Thank you. I've done the whole compatibility, yes.
Section by section. I went through it, didn't seem that hard to me.
Yes, I did it all. I was prepared to do this, but they think, they
You
are saying
listed everything.
no.
You listed all the
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah,
So-
okay.
So,
So,
I-
let me, go ahead, yeah, please.
where it seems that as a planning board, we feel strongly and unanimously, I understand it's up against council, and it's different. Is there anything within our range that could be more supportive, or what else is within our realm of discussion and control?
If I can interpret that, is there anything we can do to help move Copeland and Page
Yeah,
along?
because we clearly
Um,
have heard this and feel very strongly that it would support our efforts as a planning board in what we want to
Exactly.
further as a town. So,
I think that being
Where is
stated
our
at the
voice?
meeting gives Alan
in this.
No,
something.
that's your prerogative. I think that would be a conversation between the chairman of the committee and the town manager.
Happy to make that call.
May I ask one more question?
Sure.
And this is in the
Go on.
newbie realm.
Keep going.
So on the last public hearing, we had, I think it was in the last, but sometime tonight, one of the wordings that Jonathan had to say was that we are putting in the warrant or whatever, in the book that comes out at town meeting, that this is where planning board stands, and we would hope that the town votes in the affirmative. How do we word that? And this isn't for tonight, but if our board isn't wanting it to be voted on as an overlay, but wants it to be, is there, we can't hold it up once it goes to town the way it needs to, so there wouldn't be any wording we could put in there to say we strongly had recommended.
You can say it.
You can say it.
You can absolutely say it. Yeah.
My recommendation would be to not.
Right,
As
'cause it
soon
would
as you
confuse
go
people,
out as a
right?
planning board questioning what's going to town meeting.
They're not gonna understand
Everyone's
why.
gonna question what's going to town
Exactly.
meeting.
I
and
follow
vote.
that.
I've seen that happen.
Okay.
I
And,
know.
and I have a feeling that's probably the basis of what is happening right now, is somebody from Copeland and Page has been to a town meeting where a major change, where a change is happening to a zoning bylaw that is so, I don't know, what's the word for it?
It's too.
It's so broadly cast throughout the existing
Zoning, yeah.
bylaw, there's existing zoning, that it can become very confusing in a public forum.
Okay.
Cumbersome.
So
Very
to-
cumbersome process in a public forum, and we do not have an elected town meeting. We lose 50 people. We drop below 50 people, we
Right.
can't get anything done.
So
I
to
think
my
that's part of it
original
also.
question, I guess it comes back to still we all feel very strongly that it has been thoroughly done and that it's more
So,
helpful to us as a board to do
so,
it.
the thing, okay, what I'm struggling to understand is that the council's concern is what? That it would just take too long at town meeting to go through each one of those points as a
They're
point
afraid
of
you're gonna
order?
miss a point.
What's
I
that?
bet you they're afraid you're gonna miss something.
Yeah, miss one or.
You have to.
And then it invalidates the whole
reference.
Well, it doesn't invalidate the whole one, but depending on where it is, it could invalidate one section, that one section could go on another one and snowball effect.
Yes, okay.
And
Right.
then now you're going back as a planning board, someone goes, well, you missed this, what else did you do wrong?
Well, there's
You
that-
don't ever want to have a single doubt going to town
That
meeting.
may be part of it. I actually, I don't think it's an issue of making mistakes. It's just the sheer magnitude and time of
You know,
going
that means timing
through
and going through everything. I
the
think, too, now.
entire thing. I was
At the
prepared to do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are
Yeah,
we
just
talking
saying
about
we
you
have to
going
do
through
this.
the entire form-based
This-
code thing?
No, I'm sorry.
Or
I'm sorry. The
reference?
entire air zoning
Yeah,
Where
bylaw.
all
Each
references are
instance,
made.
boom.
I understand that.
So you'd literally have to do that at town meeting. So, anyway.
It is a method of expediting
Right.
an important
So-
change.
Now, I'll just,
I'm gonna go back.
But this is a special town meeting. That's not the ordinary, that's the whole point, is it's a special meeting in consideration of this, right?
Right.
Does anyone know how the vote has to go? Is it something that,
Two-thirds.
yes, but is it 2/3 on every single change?
That's what I'm wondering.
Or is it 2/3 on all, you listen all together?
The whole article has to be written and
The whole
include
But
everything.
I'm just saying, like, if that could be council's thought, is if it's, or how it needs to be going, is every single time it changes, has to be voted.
That's
You can
the
vote
word.
The whole thing.
No, it'd be the whole
Would
thing,
it?
unless you break it up into separate articles, and she recommends
One
that.
article. But here's I wanna go back to the overlay district. And I wanna try to compare the overlay districts that we have to what you're talking about. And I'm gonna
Yes.
do this myself, okay? And you can tell me
very
if I'm wrong.
tough apples and oranges, because they're
Right.
very
The overlay
useless. They're
districts
not
we
built
have now
for us.
do not consist of one location. there are multiple, so there might be 4 or
Yes.
5 potential solar overlay districts. There's
Yes.
4 or 5, but I thought your plan was a good one because it took the entirety of one small district and replaced
You
it
just
in
replaced it.
total.
Right,
Yes.
yeah.
So it wasn't a question to me of an over, in fact, if you remember the first meeting we had, I said, I thought it was an overlay district, and you corrected me and said you had put language in
Very
it.
That's how we
adamantly, I
knew it
did.
was.
And said, you know, something like that. So now I'm fascinated by the fact that it shouldn't be that complicated if it's just a one-for-one.
Yeah.
That's what,
Yeah, when Alan told me what town council's opinion was on, that it needs to go as an overlay, I was taken aback too. It seemed
Yeah.
fairly straightforward before. But, you know, I'm not a lawyer, and they're the land use lawyers, so.
so the fact that it's an overlay district, you write the whole article up like you did, and then you simply make a reference to where that overlay district is going to land. And you just say it's going to land on the downtown business district
Yes.
spot.
Yes.
It could actually land on several spots if you had multiple locations that
Right.
you wanted to use it in as an overlay. But it's,
No, for the reason being, the form-based, that form is
So
designed
because
for
that
only
form is
one
one-
place in the world.
Exactly.
This is street by
right.
street,
That's what
building
makes
by
it so
block
and
by
the whole
block. It
concept of
doesn't
your
work.
work on the
Right. That's
transect,
the point of the form-based.
all that
code.
transect work and everything was
Yes.
important to this
Yes. That's
concept.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
It's, guys, I believe it's a timing thing. They just think people
Oh.
are not
So here's
going
my
to
next
take on
question.
this, you know?
Go ahead.
The next question is, if they came back with this idea, are they apt to be back next week with another idea and say another idea?
No,
And so
no,
you
the
just miss
point
it.
with that is gets into the issue now, the administrative issue of how much time do we have left to publicly post public hearings,
Yes.
present this
Yeah.
whole new thing.
That's
Now,
right.
now, by the way, I'll say this about this. The body of the code is not changing at all, what I presented you guys. So that's part of
So
it.
the public hearing you're
The body
discussing
of the thing is not nothing. It's just how it's being deployed.
Right.
Okay? So this is the only discussion, is, you know, it's, and, all right, and I'll do it this way, because I can argue both sides of anything. This may in fact
It's easier.
make it easier for
Right.
folks, and frankly, improve the probability odds of it really being approved, because now we're saying, guys, you know, the underlying district's still there. We're just, this is an overlay
That's a
putting
good
over
point.
it. You don't have to go through this whole now, you know, the entire bylaw and
those
stuff,
references don't have
and it just might be say, well, okay, that, you know,
Okay, got it.
That's
So
until
that-
they're in front of us and we
Yeah.
have to choose between A and B, and we're the ones deciding everything based on two codes. So honestly, that's really not supportive of the planning board decision. And I think you recommended that our acting chair would need to speak to our town manager.
yeah, well, if the conversation, it really is
Which I would
between
support
the
that
chair and the town manager.
Maybe
that
our entire
conversation.
board could do something similar, but I know then we have quorum issues.
And
Yeah,
I'm
you go on an
happy-
individual basis.
Okay.
I'm happy to take that as a to-do and have a conversation with Robert
Because I
tomorrow and
would,
find out where it stands and where it can go, because in support of both Alan and moving this forward.
well, can I say one last thing?
Sure, of
But,
course.
and I'm sorry to do this, I know Alan has spent a lot of time on this, but we as a board have also spent a lot of time
Thank you.
talking
We've
about
done
it.
this
So
as
I
part
find
of
it a
this.
little, I too am struggling with the idea that we've put a lot of time and effort in this with Alan, and now we're gonna just do something something different that might not be as supportive as the direction we were trying to go as a board.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, and I'm going to use the word frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very frustrating. I'm going to ask a couple, I get from this conversation that we need to probably close this hearing tonight.
Yeah.
Or,
We have to, right?
We don't have to,
Okay.
but what
I-
Alan's discussing has nothing to do with what was presented, what the public hearing was.
so,
The public hearing that you had that was posted
Yeah.
has nothing to do with what Alan is speaking of.
Absolutely.
exactly.
No, it does not.
Right? Leave that up to.
Yeah, well, my understanding was the public hearing that is still open for the
Exactly.
form-based code is on the substance of the form-based
On
code,
the
and
substance
what
of
the
the code, not
form-based
the
code
deployment
is.
of it.
True.
And the hearing that needs to take place at one of the May planning board meetings is on how that will interact with the rest of the zoning bylaw, is an overlay, and any provision for the use table and dimensional table that needs to change.
Okay.
And the zoning map.
So as of now, correct me, we're meeting on May 2nd?
Does that give you enough time?
Well, that's
What are our
That's
May
part of
dates?
my-
What are our May dates right
the
now?
regular meeting dates are May 14th and May 28th. But
Yep.
we have a issue of a citizen petition as well, which if we're going to issue a recommendation to town meeting and take care of that, it would need to be on May 7th.
May 7th,
For
thank
that. If
So-
there's-
At this point,
Did
we
you-
currently
That was
have,
posted, wasn't it?
Yeah, it had to be.
Yeah, it had- yes. I
So at
thought
this
you did
point-
post that,
Yeah, it
yes.
is.
So May 7th is only for the citizen petition. I don't think there's time to do form-based code on that night.
but if we get the form-based code on the 14th?
No,
It won't make it.
it's too late.
We could have it on the 28th, as
28th.
long as it's before town meeting.
I'm just checking to see if there's an opportunity. Let me ask the question a different
Right.
way. Is there an opportunity, if we were to close this hearing now, to have a public hearing? I mean, I actually am at a
Oh,
point now where,
right, 14th.
is it possible to not close this hearing this evening?
That's what I was gonna ask. You just.
Yeah.
And then close it and open a second public hearing at some point at a date between now and the town meeting?
Yes.
That will work.
Yes, you do not have to close the public
Okay.
hearing on a certain date.
I'm just, this is just logistics
In
at this point.
fact, that might be a safe way to do it,
I was
is to
gonna
keep this one
suggest
open.
Yeah, I was
that
gonna-
we continue this meeting to the May
Right.
7th meeting as
Okay,
well.
yes, yes,
I like that idea.
And
Yes.
just hook it in on May
Yes.
7th and continue.
Right.
We get the ability to continue it to any
Yeah,
date.
there we go.
yes, yes, as long as
So we
you
have it
keep
there.
continuing it if it hasn't been
I
closed.
have more questions.
Are you free on the 7th now?
Questions.
I will be here
I
with
like
bells
Tuesday
on.
night. It's Tuesday night.
Let's get started.
So, Ken, do you have more
Yes, I
questions?
do. So, is there any, this is again, is on the substance of the changes. And okay, so maybe I'm out of order here. Because I was going to go into the question of the changing all the other, so what we're saying basically at this point in time is that we shouldn't be discussing anything except what's in the substance of the original form-based code. We can do that right now. But would like to open another separate public hearing to talk about new ideas, for instance, the change to the zoning, dimensional table,
Right,
the map,
Yes.
things like that.
right.
So on those, am I to include those in the discussion of that other public hearing? Would that also include this changing of the Ns and Ps in the table?
Yes.
In the use table.
Okay, the use table?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a dimensional table plus use regulations table
Correct.
that would be in that
That's
separate
right. And
here.
on the
Yes.
dimensional table, which
Right.
I've actually done this,
Right.
and this has been
Yes.
submitted to legal counsel as well yesterday morning. You're just on the dimensional table, you're just doing under the DB, because that'll refer to form-based code, development standards, 8 point whatever. So it's just they're knowing that, listen to, oh, all right, I guess it, which again leads to me a little bit of confusion stuff, saying, what, okay, but, so that, in the use table, yes, we amended it, the multifamily to be permitted downtown, which it isn't now,
That kind of stuff.
townhouses,
That's all
Right.
separate.
it is.
That would be at the second public
That's
hearing,
right, that's the
yes.
second public hearing, both the dimensional table and use table, yes.
So then we, thinking that tonight we're pretty close to finishing up any questions of the fundamental
Right, the body.
basis, the body of the original form-based code.
And there's enough time for this other hearing for the dimensional table. We're going to make the timing. It's going to make
We'll make the time for it. The complicating factor is that the warrants for the town meeting closes before we would have a chance to have the second public hearing, so,
That's the scary thing.
That is
yeah,
scary.
so that's, yeah, that can,
What is the date of the warrant closing, do you know, offhand?
jeez.
Was it June 10th?
I think it might be May 7th, or it's, I need to talk to Robert and Carly. It might be
Yeah.
somewhat flexible, too.
Okay.
It might not be a firm date, but
So
it's in
I'm going to
early
take the
May.
task of talking to Robert
Yeah.
the next day or so. If you could also, Mark, take a look at the dates,
Yes,
okay?
yeah,
And I'm going to ask you to follow up with me on the by telephone,
mhm,
okay?
yes. I did.
Typically not anywhere near a computer in your day these days,
I have
so.
one more thought. Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, of course.
have to go back in time, unfortunately, to last time we did a zoning change. And I think we as a board at that time decided that we would not go to a town meeting without everything being completed prior to the publication of the warrant, that we would not have any hearings open. We would be closed, voted, and in agreement
Closed and
prior
voted.
to the issuing of the warrant.
So we need to find out.
To keep that in mind.
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure we set that as a non-breakable,
So the June 10th special meeting is only going to, at this point, my understanding, the warrant, the two articles
Yes.
were the marijuana bylaw and the form-based code bylaw.
Right.
Yes, and by
Okay.
the way, just as of,
We just found out.
we found the Mass Development has withdrawn their proposal to do a super town meeting as well on June the 10th for Vicksburg Square. They have
Fantastic.
withdrawn that. They are not going to be at there will be no
Right. That
super
would have
town meeting
been.
on June 10th. Right,
Yeah.
that would
Also
have been the
on
same
the
night
agenda.
also. That now has been withdrawn.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
temporarily.
Temporarily, yes.
I think we're in a position where we can't go forward because we don't have a response from an attorney, the attorneys. I respect the attorney's opinions, I really do. There's a reason for it. I will take the task of talking to the town manager about this. Mark, if you'll take the task of figuring out the
Yes.
dates for us, and if, I mean, it might be helpful if you could put an email together with what the dates are, that'd be very helpful
Yes.
for everybody.
Yes, thank
Okay.
you. Yep.
Yep.
That might even be helpful for me to have, if you could, I hate to schedule your day, Mark, but if we can get that in place before I talk to Robert
Okay.
and Carly about that, I'm happy to. It just
Yeah.
helps me, helps them.
I'll talk to them
To be
first.
more,
then, yeah.
you know, as you guys know, sometimes I can be very task oriented. So we'll do that. I am interested to see Alan Lenoy and someone flummoxed that, sorry. Usually you're so high energy. I see the
Usually.
frustration on your face, I really do.
It's okay.
And I appreciate
We're
it.
going to work through these things together, and
Yeah, I know. And we'll continue to work with these, Coltman and Page are considered the best.
yes.
When it comes to municipal law. Let's put it this way, in the multiple communities I've worked with over my life, KMP has been involved in many, many of them. So, I think we should probably vote to continue. Is there any public input? I'm so sorry. Okay. I would entertain a motion to continue the public hearing for form-based code to the May 7th meeting.
I make a motion that we continue the hearing, public hearing on form-based code until the next planning board meeting on May 7th.
second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Good luck, Alan.
If you need
Thank
to get a hold of me, call me. Seriously, during the day.
Very
It's the
good.
best way to reach me.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
Mr.
Good
Chairman.
luck, man.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, moves us to town planner update.
Okay, the principal update is the subject of the May 7th meeting will be the citizen petition warrant article. I hope I sent that out to everybody already. If not, I can resend it. But Kevin Horgan submitted an article to request that the all setbacks for large-scale ground-mounted solar energy systems either in or where they abut a residential zoning district to be 150 feet instead of the standard in the underlying zoning, which in this case is A2, if you think about Air Solar 2. The solar setbacks were set to be the same as the setback for any structure in the zoning districts. So they're proposing to increase the setback for any structure associated with the solar energy, PV, right, to 150 feet, either within a residential district or where it abuts a residential district. So, and after the public hearing, the planning board needs to make a positive or a negative recommendation to the May 13th town meeting, which is the annual town meeting. And that's why we're sort of rushed on this, is because the law says that if the citizen petition gets in prior to the closing of the warrant, it has to go on the town meeting warrant. Planning board is not obligated to vote, to hold a hearing before the town meeting, but that would just push it out. And that would mean essentially that could potentially mean that the hearing, I mean, the warrant article would be at the June 10th town meeting with all these other things. And I think it's cleaner if we do it at the May 13th annual town meeting.
What's the difference in setback? I mean, so he's proposed 150, what is it in the area now? What's the
15 feet,
Just 15? Okay.
yes.
Clarification.
The side setback is 15.
The side setback
The side
is 15.
setback.
The
which
side
would be
setback, but what's the
right.
structural?
Well, that is, yes,
Doesn't
that
matter.
is, yes.
What is it? The same
Well,
thing?
anything that is defined as a structure, and so the support for one of the PV, arrays would be a structure that you put
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
ground
okay.
as a permanent structure. So all those would have to be set back by whatever.
But did he want, and this
He is
petition is
proposing-
150 as opposed to whatever the
Whatever
district
the
is.
underlying zoning
District.
district is.
And
yes.
right now, if the example uses, it's only 15 feet, so this.
Yeah, because it's in the A2 district, but if it was
We're
in
in a different one.
If it was in the A1 district, it would be somewhat greater because they have larger setbacks.
It's not much though.
Yeah, it's not much. We, air
Like,
setbacks
they're
are
within
pretty
5
minimal.
feet if there's any change at all.
Yeah.
Would you be submitting an opinion for this, the May 7th meeting?
Well,
I'm just curious. Yeah,
Well,
I don't know, I just.
No, the planning board, I would have, usually, I would issue a recommendation for the planning board on the May 7th
Yeah, that's what I was
planning board
wondering.
meeting,
Yeah.
which, you can either agree with or disagree with, and,
Okay.
and
So you will have a
There will be
similar
something.
sheet.
it will be
There'll be a
something.
report.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I was asking.
Right.
Thanks.
And I didn't get a chance to look, does this tie into the new zoning? This is either dimensional,
There it is right there.
thank you, yeah, I've seen his article. The question is in the solar bylaw, are the dimensional, any dimensional regulations in that? I don't recall.
No, it just refers
It
to
just
the
refers.
underlying
yeah,
zone.
the underlying
Because
zone,
it's
yeah.
an overlay
I just wanted to
district.
make sure.
Right, yes, it refers to the same setbacks as apply in the underlying.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other announcements, Mark?
Yes, under new business, I forgot to pass this out. You remember 41 East Main Street, the property owned by Mark Seda? Apparently, the planning board issued a site plan approval on this back in 2017, I believe.
Yes.
I guess there was a problem with the title. They discovered that there's a piece of land that was either left out or was included as part of the parcel that is not. I'm not sure what the story is. I just learned today about this from Neil Gorman, who's the engineer from Ross Associates. So they need to do a site plan amendment to correct that error in the lot line for 41 East Main Street so that it can be properly conveyed to a new buyer.
Oh, yeah.
As Mark Seda is in the process of selling the property. So I told Neil Gorman that I would bring this to the board's attention tonight. He just submitted, his application just now, which we have not looked at since he handed it to me just before the meeting.
Okay.
But this will be stamped in, and
It's interesting.
he's requesting that this gets on the next available planning board agenda, which probably would not be the 7th because of the need to post.
Okay.
Would most likely be,
Well, it's an amended site plan, so
It's
I
an
don't think
amended
it has
site
to
plan.
go through all the amended things, but it does need interdepartmental review. You need to verify to make sure it meets all the requirements
right. I have to
before
go
it can be
through the
stamped in.
checklist.
Yeah.
Yep.
Quick question for you.
Yes.
This is neither, it's neither an additional or, it's neither an addition or reduction in his email. After some recent detailed title search on the property, it's been discovered that there is a piece of land, 903 square feet, that is in question.
They don't know what the question is.
Exactly.
It's just a-
We would like to present a revised plan to the board and discuss the revised open space and lot coverage calculations as de minimis changes to the existing approval. I will forward the revised plan to you in the next few days. I'm going to ask, I forgot what the entire square footage of the parcel was.
He might say
fairly
it's got
sizable
he's got to cover
It
It's a
runs
big-
on
it's a
three-
big lot,
It
yeah.
runs on 3 streets.
3 streets, yeah.
Yes.
I would just be, if, 903 square feet may or may not have any impact.
Right.
But not all of you were at the table at the time, but we struggled with siting. We struggled with numbers of units. We struggled with garage space. We struggled with parking space. We struggled with driveway space. We struggled with what's the front, what's the side, what's the setbacks.
Number of parking spaces.
Number of parking
Yes.
spaces. We struggled with the street sweeper, couldn't get in there. There were many items that were on the list of things. It was brought to us or presented to us. At this point, I think we've discovered as nothing more as an opportunity for him to turn it over to a developer. So if you could, Mark, I hate to do it, but of course, let's see if the 900 is a plus or a minus 900 and what would be the impact on a lot of those discussions we had.
Oh, right. How does it affect?
How does it
the other
affect?
things?
Right.
Yes.
Okay, because there are abutters. If I recall, we did have a fair number of abutters come to that meeting.
Yes.
Okay, will this trigger a butter notification?
I don't think so. It would be up to the board. Unfortunately, under the new site plan regulations we have,
Yeah.
they do. I don't know what it says in there 100% for amended site plans, because this came in before those new regulations. So your plan sets, your checklists, all those items weren't under this.
Yeah.
Same thing with this is actually does fall under the aquifer district, which if any
This
changes
is
to
right
that
into the aquifer,
will now
yes.
come to us, because before the Board of Health issued that, and I've been speaking with them because I answer the phone calls for everybody.
So, if you could take a quick look.
So there are many things that are gonna
Yeah,
go to
sure.
pen, this is, you might even have done a special
It-
hearing, a public hearing just for the
Yeah.
aquifer district.
Yeah, I was surprised when
And
this
let's
came
work,
out.
and let's work with Neil to make sure he knows what's gonna happen.
Right, yes.
If he
It could
comes
be-
in.
It could be a longer meeting or a longer series of meetings than they anticipate. but,
The past,
I got it.
if I may, just, past planning boards have been somewhat understanding of problems like this. I want to make sure that we look under all the corners if we can, before we sit down with Mr. Gorman on this.
Right.
Because as just a general background, this piece of property has been in motion. I don't want to say in play because that does give, but I think it was 2007 was the original
Yes.
site plan
yes,
review.
yes.
And
Right.
it seems to have gone to sleep, woken up, gone to sleep, woken up. So, and
it's back
our
again.
last discussion was under what bylaw does it?
Hold on.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that-
At the time, the discussion was under what zoning bylaw?
Oh, right, the old
What?
one.
Yeah, because it had gone to sleep for so long that there
Right.
was a question about whether or not it was new or old. So there might be a little bit of,
There'll be a lot of going back to
we might want
the
to,
file.
if you could take a look at the minutes and see from those last meetings, maybe that's an important piece of information
Those are all recorded, you can
for
watch them.
the current members. We need to know the dates of the meetings. I've forgotten what they are.
Okay, so May 7th is the first Tuesday of the month. May
Yeah.
14th would have been our regular meeting, which is the second, and then May 28th is the fourth
Tuesday.
Tuesday of the month.
Hmm.
So,
We got a busy May, guys.
yes.
We do.
In-town meeting.
So, and anybody who wants to have a conversation offline about this, I'm happy to jog my memory and help out, because it was an interesting
Yeah, the site,
0 to 60 trying to figure out what was going on with
yeah,
this
the
one.
site plan approval for that one was the meeting in July before I started, because I had to watch it to take the notes on it.
So-
Because those notes were like a page and a half long, and I was wondering how you got
Yeah.
3 site plans done.
But
in
if I-
11 minutes.
But if I recall,
So
there
I
was
think-
questions of neighbors about traffic patterns. There was and
There was a
rightfully
lot.
so, there were concerns in the neighborhood. And I want the neighbors to know that we're not doing this behind closed doors.
Could you just tell me, where is 41? Just, is there something nearby?
Big yellow house
far
with the
from the
gazebo
library.
on the
There's a
side.
gazebo
Yes.
out here on the
That
right.
one.
That's
Yeah.
41, yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it abuts East Main,
You look very happy, but that's
Pond
not how it's
Street.
gonna.
Pond Street.
Yeah.
and what's the other street?
No, I'm happy because I can see it. Because
Yeah, you see the big
Hey,
yellow
really?
house, the little gazebo,
Yes, I
yeah.
know that house.
It's
well.
East Main Pond, what's the other street?
Howard Stevens.
Oak Street, thank you. Yeah,
Because you live right
done. I know that.
We have no butter.
I
I
know
just,
that.
I want to thank the chairman and Heather for bringing up the potential issues with this. I did attend those meetings as a spectator, and I also went to the Board of Appeals meetings that they had to go to the Board of Appeals several times.
Yeah, is this gonna trigger anything?
I'd be
with
most
ZBA?
curious about
I
the
will
fact
find
that
out,
we
I
put in
hope.
place since then new site plan regulations,
Oh,
new
this-
zoning regulations.
Yeah.
The site
And
plan approval letter is 4
Site plan.
pages as opposed to a page.
And
Yeah.
So,
it-
how it handles, I guess what I'm curious about is if the site plan regulations that we wrote up, how they handle amended site plans from a
Yeah.
certain time frame.
Right.
That's the real starting point, I think.
And I know they're busy working on our form-based code, but this actually might be a question that can go to the attorney.
Yeah,
It gets there quickly.
I'll do as much as I can without consulting the attorney.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's,
But in the interest of
More
time, if we're gonna, if we're gonna end up on May 14th, we should have that figured
right,
out.
yes.
So
Yeah,
there's
it's just been a challenging one.
There's a potential that the site plan that was approved, I guess the site plan was reported, and it becomes a recorded document. It's recorded with an inaccuracy in it, basically, if it refers to whatever
Right,
meets and bounds and
Right.
shapes and sizes and
Well, they would
parcel
have
numbers
to-
that were,
they would have to record this to correct.
Yeah, well, the site plans don't get recorded, so.
they get recorded.
No.
I've seen them recorded.
But some
So-
people do record them, it's not a
Yeah.
requirement that they do.
May not be.
So, we got some work to do to figure this one out. Okay, does anybody, are you all done with the
Yeah,
announcements?
that's
Mr. Archibald, thank you.
that's enough, I think.
Anybody have anything for our new business?
I got old business.
Okay,
Does
fits
anybody
under
else have
here.
any new business?
go ahead, Mr. Diskin.
The zoning map. Did we decide we were gonna put together a zoning map? and sign
Yes,
one?
yes, after the June 10th special town meeting, we need to formally adopt a map with planning board signatures on it,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, we discussed that at the last meeting, the meeting
Yes.
previously, yeah.
Right.
I just
Yes.
thought it was,
But in the meantime, we're gonna just let it, we're not gonna bring in the plan now and sign it just to get current. We're gonna wait. Because the question came up was whether, if it's something didn't pass at that town meeting, we would still have
Right.
a plan in place, if we wanted to just print a plan
But
now.
especially if we have to reference the form-based code overlay district on the new zoning map,
Yes.
we might as well do it all at once and have, as of June 10th, a new map for signature, and we can have the MRPC produce us a new
Oh,
map
you
that-
have to, with your signature block
with
on
the
it.
signature box. and-
Yeah.
yeah.
But Ken, is your question, if
My
it
question
doesn't
was,
pass, what will we have in place?
Right.
Right.
but, so if I may, it's, in other words, codify what we got.
Well,
That's
we
the
should,
current
we
zoning
should
map.
have a current zoning map now that's signed in place.
Okay,
And it should be of a size that when someone walks in, the language, I think I read the language before, but the language
Yeah.
basically says you can walk into the town clerk's office, you can ask for a zoning map, you're gonna get a zoning map that you can read and look at. But now you're getting an 8.5 by 11, very difficult to read zoning map.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Walk
fine, because
up to-
I have large scale ones upstairs.
yeah.
Doesn't say that here though, says you can walk into the
Okay.
town clerk's
Yeah,
office.
well,
So to
Yeah.
be compliant, so the way it goes
Okay.
in the building, people start at the town
Town
clerk's
clerk's.
office.
Can I ask you
I'm
to
done.
champion that one
Uh-huh.
and work with Mark to make sure we got it
Sure.
for the next meeting?
Yeah.
Easy.
And please double check,
Can do it.
Yeah,
please double check that
I'll
we
go right over to
can
the
codify this, sign it,
place
and go
and pay for it
forward.
myself.
yes.
well, it's just
Boy, all
like-
these
I was just
changes here
thinking,
and
hey,
there,
bring
we've
it
got
to
a
the
new
clerk.
zoning
Oh,
map, we've got, there's a new zoning bylaw,
Yeah.
everything's
Dizzy.
okay.
That's all that happened.
Anything else on your plate, Mr. Diskin?
No.
Okay. We have kept on the agenda board reorganization for a long time. I'm going to address it now, if I may, now that we have 4 elected members to the board. I think it's time we reorganize. We do have a non-attending member at this point, but we currently don't have all of the seats filled that we need to fill. So I'd like to, we can do it on the 7th, we can do it on the 14th. We can do it now. We can, if you want to, we can hold elections for the 3 seats on the board. Chair, vice chair, and clerk. Or chair, assistant chair, and clerk. I leave it open to you all. You want to do it in a couple of weeks? Think about it.
Yeah.
Okay?
I would like to have the time, so that I know what the 3 roles are even, so
Okay.
what the responsibilities are.
Why don't you speak to Mark offline about that?
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
have
Okay.
a conversation,
Yeah.
I'll make a
Yeah,
note.
if you don't mind. But my reasoning in the beginning when I spoke to the town manager about this and spoke to Mark about it was that because we were in flux without a member, and the member held one of the seats, but I think it's become fairly apparent that that member is probably not going to show up again at a meeting. We have reached out to the member to no avail. Perfectly happy to be an acting chair, but I think it's probably time that we just understand what's happening and move forward.
Fair enough.
Okay? Anything else?
I would also like to see how we can get Kerry on as a sort of, what's the term?
Associate?
Associate
I
member,
think I have
yes.
homework to do. I have to submit my resume. Do I submit it to Robert?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I assumed.
Yeah.
Okay, great, yeah. I can
Yeah, just
do that
send
later
it.
this week.
Either drop it off with Carly or send it over to Carly, that'd be great.
Great.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for,
Yeah, I'm
thank you
excited.
for,
This is awesome.
thank you, Carrie.
I'm very interested in all of this, which is,
Well, thank you.
There's so few of us that are.
Right, yeah. That's a-
Do you want to take a moment and talk about motions and amendments, or?
I'll give you my Cliff Notes version if you'd like.
Please do. As you all recall, we were discussing.
The acting chair bought me a book of Robert's Rules when I learned it wasn't Robert Pontebrandt who wrote Robert's Rules.
Very
That is
good,
not a joke, I really had to learn that.
very good.
So,
Well, if you only ever hear one thing, how do you know?
we kept talking about a Robert, I assumed it was Robert.
Very good.
Anyway, so, yes, we are not technically amending our motions appropriately. That idea, so, let me see where I can, this is where I found it most. These are on the simple amendments. So this is on the, I'd say 95% of the time where we amend things here and where we're kind of doing that, that's what I'm gonna read. There's deeper stuff on the bigger amendments when you're fully amending something. That's for someone smarter than me to read those, because I couldn't. I tried, I could not follow it. So when you're stating a question, I'm trying to figure out where to put you in this. Let me just read this and see if I'm not jumping in the middle. So you state the question as for any other motion. It is moved and seconded to, you read the main motion or the portion affected by the amendment as it would stand if the amendment were adopted. So you would say, if the amendment is adopted, the main motion will read.
I remember this now from time.
And then you will make it clear once more that the amendment under immediate consideration is the question is on the amendment. We then, if we unanimously approve we like the amendment, we then read
The motion.
the
with
motion
amendment.
with the amendment, but it's not a second motion. It
No, it's not a
continues.
second motion.
Right.
Remember this for town meeting. Exactly.
I'm not the moderator at town meeting. I did not run for that position. So, one other thing,
So let me go back.
amendments, the only other thing I thought was interesting is amendments are sometimes so simple or acceptable that they are adopted by unanimous consent.
Yes.
So we are allowed to just, when you sense no objection, to continue with it as amended.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
Yeah.
But those are for the really, really basic ones. But for the most part, or whoever becomes the chair.
It is the chair's role. Yes.
It is the chair's role to say, let's restate, if the amendment is adopted, this is the question we're talking about, the amendment on these words. We all say yes, then we go back to state the original motion as amended.
Yeah, you don't make a motion.
We don't make a
amend it
second
and then
motion.
discuss, and then make a motion to amend the motion.
There we go.
Thank you.
So as an example for us, if we try to put it now into an example,
Yeah,
we're, for instance, talking about the drawings.
Yes.
If we just had a minor change to a date on the drawing, we basically agreed by consensus.
Yes.
yeah,
That that's just a minor change.
right,
And the original motion would stand.
right. And if we wanted to change the wording of the original motion, not just like a date, we might want to more thoroughly actually
Yeah.
vote
Right.
in the middle of it, but it
On
just
the amended,
continues.
on the amended changes.
On the, right. And
And then
then,
add the amendment changes back to the original motion. I mean, this is what they do at town meeting all the
Right.
time.
Yeah.
So, if I may, to step backwards, the reason for Robert's Rules, the parliamentary procedure, was because meetings did not go well.
right.
Now,
It was a Jeopardy
if you,
question.
if you take a look at who wrote Robert's rules,
Right.
you will find it was an autocratic, it's an autocracy, okay? There are things that Robert's rules say you can do that we don't do because they're no longer
Right.
acceptable. Robert's rules was written in such a way so that the chair could run the meeting. So I'm not the kind of guy who's ever going to say, the agenda says it's 8:15, we're adjourned. Robert's rules allows for that, whether you're in the middle of something or not.
Right.
The person who sets the agenda can adjourn the meeting. So I think that's the gray area we were in.
I might move that we do that someday.
That's fine.
I can give things time. to
And
figure
by the way, moves to adjourn are not necessarily open to discussion. If there's a second, it's a vote.
Yes.
There is no discussion.
The one other thing that took you entirely out of the amendment chapter was when your motion has blanks in it. So if we're about to approve a motion to make something set amount of money, but we have to fill in the blank, there's a whole other ballgame for
There is.
amending, filling in
Yes.
a blank that I don't,
Well,
but I know the page number.
since we don't spend money,
I figured I've
that's
never
an easy
seen.
one for us to
We don't
ignore.
Well, it wasn't just about money, but it was
Yeah.
just any time where you're filling in, which has come up when we talk about variances. So
Yes.
like I was thinking about when we say feet,
Yeah.
and that,
Yeah, you always want to try to grant variance, you want to grant a
Exactly.
couple feet over,
Um,
just
Anyway,
to
so there you
ensure
go.
someone doesn't.
They exist in order to run meetings
That's
very
more of a
well.
zoning board
Yeah.
though.
But, excuse me, but
Waivers.
time has changed,
We don't do
and we're a
variance.
much more, I would say, more
Not
democratic than
yet,
autocratic.
when I worked in Lane.
So
So our Robert
Planning
write
board
something different.
did all
Exactly.
residential.
Okay.
So,
Zoning board did all commercial.
thank you very much for doing that.
Or vice versa.
And by all means, step in,
Yeah,
okay?
getting close.
Because what goes on in here is really scary.
Well, I just want to throw something, thank you very much, Julie, for that. This is just not planning board related, but we do have a town meeting coming up.
Yeah.
Of course, we all want to attend town meeting, but I can tell you a lesson I learned at town meeting
What's that?
regarding motions.
Yep,
And that is, when you read the warrant at town meeting, you're going to see the motion after the article. That in many cases will not be the motion that's
Yeah.
made at the town meeting floor.
okay.
That wording will change slightly, and that's, the official motion is the one that's made by the selectmen on the floor of the town meeting.
Okay.
They'll have a little slip of paper.
Yeah.
The same thing applied to us when I goofed up in the town meeting. All the motions, even in the amendments on the town meeting, are supposed to be written and handed to the
To
moderator.
the moderator. to be
Okay.
like,
So that makes it an official motion or an official amendment to a motion. It's much more formal and to do it that way than try to do it off the floor.
Yeah.
And then you'll make a mistake on the floor. So
All right.
the effort to make we've seen at town meeting so-called friendly amendments,
Yeah.
which can happen. And those are typed up, handed to the moderator, read by the moderator,
Yeah.
so they can be voted on first and discussed first before they then go back and add to the, but just keep in mind that if you see an article, a motion typed in the warrant,
Yep,
that may be slightly worded
Different.
differently,
It-
depending on what happens between the time the warrant is printed
and what?
and the selectmen and everyone agree, finance
Exactly.
committee and selectmen agree, this is the actual wording we need.
And typically when that, well, most of, if I'm correct, most of our articles end up on the overhead projector anyway.
They do.
And we all skip words when we read things. So sometimes that happens also.
But I put my hand up, I can tell you from personal experience,
Yeah.
I put my hand up at the town meeting and said, that motion doesn't match what I've been studying
Yes.
in the warrant.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when I was informed. It doesn't really, it's listed as the potential, call it the potential motion.
Yes.
The real motion is when they really do it at town meeting.
Exactly.
And it can be changed by some substantial language,
Mhm.
so.
Good.
Or they'll shorten it or do something.
Yeah, we also go through the warrants in order here and there.
You can take,
You can take warrant, you can take them out of
Absolutely.
You
order.
take them in
Yeah,
order,
so-
yes.
there's a whole strategy.
They did,
There-
You know.
No, I
they
come from a
did that at the
town.
last one.
Yeah, they moved, try to move the school stuff up.
They do the
Yeah.
school stuff
Right.
first,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So
And
you just
it-
gonna go home.
It also has to do with elected versus non-elected town meeting. We have a non-elected town meeting.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, is there any other business before the planning board this evening?
I have one thing.
Go ahead.
As a note, I will have to recuse myself
Oh, yeah.
when we have a hearing on the setback to the large-scale solar,
Yeah.
just to let you know that. So when that comes up, I'll be,
Yes, that means I need 3 of you here, or we don't have a quorum.
so that'll be important to maintain, you know.
Thank you. Anything else?
Hope we're healthy.
Yes.
I will, I hope we're always healthy. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We're adjourned. All in favor?
Aye.